I've wanted to buy a Mashup since it was released. If you've watched any of my videos, you'll know that I was stuck on foamies with a lot of volume because of a shoulder injury. I've always liked fish shapes because it really loosens up my surfing. The Mashup is a collaboration with Machado and Mann, combining their popular designs, the Seaside and the Spitfire. I've never surfed the Seaside, although I really wanted one, but I owned a Spitfire for many years and surfed it to death. In fact, I've still got it in my shed now. I always surfed the Spitfire as a quad. I tried it as a thruster but never could get on with it. I found the Spitfire just to be such a fun, loose, fast surfboard, and this is what drew me to the Mashup. I'm not going to do a really big deep dive into the dimensions and the specifics of this surfboard. This one is a 5'8" with 32.81 litres. I'll leave a link in the description when Dan the Man really drills down on the specifics of the design of the Mashup. To be honest, I jumped on the Mashup thinking that I would just be able to surf it really easily straight away. This is a thruster setup with medium-sized fins. These waves had a little bit of poke to them, but actually I was finding the board to be stiff and quite hard to turn, which surprised me because it wasn't what I was expecting. The Mashup is fast and responsive, but I've definitely found there to be a learning curve, and sometimes I'm, wow, that's just what I was expecting. But at other times I'm like, what is this board doing? Like on this clip when I get hung up in the wave, and you know, it's just not what I'm used to with other surfboards that I've been riding, like the Evo and the Sci-Fi. It's definitely not negativity towards the Mashup. I'm really enjoying learning to surf it. I've had it for 2 months and I still feel like I'm learning to surf it. Sometimes I'm blown away about how much speed I'm getting out of turns, but then at other times I'm shocked because I'm getting hung up in the wave and sometimes just going off the back of the wave because I can't keep it engaged. I've watched other reviews and I haven't heard the surfers talk about this, so maybe it's just me. I think there's a couple of factors that are contributing to this. One is that I haven't surfed a high performance shortboard for many years, maybe 10 years, and the Mashup is described as a high performance fish. I've also been struggling to get my back foot far enough back, but the more I surf it, the better I'm getting at that, and the board goes so quick when I hit the sweet spot. I think if you've been surfing a high performance shortboard, when you ride the Mashup you're going to find it loose and responsive. But going the direction that I've gone from riding really loose boards like the Evo, the Sci-Fi with wider tails, it's definitely more high performance than those, which actually in the long run is a benefit because I can surf it in bigger surf. As I said, I found it a bit stiff as a thruster, so I tried it as a twin fin, bit too loose, but I've settled on a 2+1 setup, and that's really helped loosen up the board. Dan the Man and Rob have really done a good job on hiding foam in the surfboard, and I find it really easy to catch waves on it without compromising performance. These clips are from just several days ago in very small gutless surf. You can see that I am starting to master getting it going in smaller waves. I've also heard the Mashup being described as a Swiss Army Knife or a daily driver, and I think this is true. I still haven't tried it as a quad. I know that I can stick bigger fins in if I want to make it stiffer. I can have it as a 2.5 fin. It even surfs as a twin fin. So it's got multiple uses, which is exciting. As you can see, you can surf very small waves on the Mashup, but I wouldn't describe it as a true groveler. It's super fast and responsive and goes off the top really well, and you can even go vertical on it. For me, there's a continued learning curve. Although I feel like I've really started to master it forehand, backhand I'm still struggling. When I get it right, it feels really good, but at times I'm bogging, nose diving and catching an edge. But I definitely feel quite excited about what I might be able to achieve on the board once I master it. And although I can normally jump on pretty much any board and I can ride it because I've been surfing for so long, this one is definitely challenged me, but like I say, it's exciting. Any questions about the Mashup, please put them in the comments. I'd also love to hear your experience with the Mashup. I'm going to do an update on this review after the summer when I've had more time to get used to the board and have more footage, especially on rights. If you could consider subscribing, liking and comment, it really helps the channel. Thanks a lot.